Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving deep into active and passive voice. Now, you've probably been told your whole life to avoid the passive voice, but what if I told you it's actually a secret weapon for advanced English speakers? If you're ready to really level up your skills, you are in the right place. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm willing to bet you've heard this one before, right? It's drilled into us pretty early on. And look, it's not terrible advice, but today we're not going to treat it like some unbreakable law. Instead, we're going to see it as an idea that we need to investigate a little more closely. All right, so before we can figure out when to break the rule, we've got to understand the rule itself. So let's kick things off with a super quick refresher on what the active and passive voice actually are. So here's the breakdown, and it's actually pretty simple. In the active voice, the subject does the action. Da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa. Da Vinci is our subject, and he's the one doing the thing, right? He's active. But in the passive voice, the subject just sits there and receives the action. The Mona Lisa was painted. The Mona Lisa isn't doing a thing. The action is happening to her. She's passive.
So why does everyone tell you to avoid this?
Well, just listen to a sentence like, ice cream is liked by me.
I mean, it's grammatically correct, but it just sounds kind of clunky, right? It's weird. This is exactly why we're told to just say, I like ice cream. It's more direct, it's clearer, and it's how people actually talk.
Let's do a quick breakdown of how you actually make a passive sentence. Let's say you have an active sentence like, someone stole my car. Step 1, the object, my car, becomes the brand new subject. Step 2, the verb stole changes to a to be verb plus the past participle, so it becomes was stolen. And finally, step 3, the original subject, someone, becomes totally optional. You can say by someone at the end, but you really don't have to. My car was stolen. Perfect. Okay, so we've got the how down. Now for the really important part, the why. This is where we flip the script. The passive voice isn't some grammar mistake you need to avoid. Nope, it's a super powerful tool, and it all comes down to one simple thing: focus. Which leads us to the big question, doesn't it? If we're told not to overuse it, but it's not actually wrong, then when is it the right choice? When should we actually, on purpose, choose to use the passive voice? And here it is, the big secret, the golden rule. You use the passive voice when you either don't know who did the action or, and this is key, you just don't care who did it. The who is not the important part of the story you're trying to tell. It's a choice you make to shift the focus. Okay, let me show you what I mean with a great example. The Germans make the best beer. This is an active sentence. It's a fantastic sentence. If the topic of your conversation is the German people, maybe you're talking about German culture or their contributions to the world, then this sentence is perfect. But what if you're talking about beer? What if you're a beer enthusiast? Watch what happens. The best beer is made by the Germans. Boom! Just like that, the beer is the star of the show. The Germans are now just extra information. See what you did there? You're in control. You're telling your listener exactly what to focus on. All right, let's see how this plays out in the real world, in some pro-level situations. These are the times when using the passive voice isn't just okay, it's actually the smarter, more professional choice. You're going to see this pop up all the time in news reports, in discussions about art and history, all over scientific papers, and in formal speeches and documentaries. Let's look at a quick example for each one. Imagine you're watching a breaking news story. The reporter might say, several shots were fired. Why? Because in that moment, we probably don't know who fired them. The most important piece of information, the focus, is the event itself. It's direct, it's factual,
and it gets the point across.
Or think about art and history. When we're talking about a masterpiece, the art is the main subject. So we'd probably say, La Pietà was carved by Michelangelo. By using the passive voice, you put that masterpiece front and center in the sentence, right where it belongs.
This is a big one in science. Science is all about being objective. Honestly, nobody reading a research paper cares that Dr. Smith heated the liquid. What matters is the process, the experiment itself. The passive voice removes the person and puts all the focus on the scientific action. And for those really big, formal statements, check this out. You could say, 1.5 billion people speak English. That's active, and it's fine, but it sounds so much more powerful to say, English is spoken by 1.5 billion people. Wow. It has more weight, doesn't it? The focus is on the language and its incredible reach.
So, let's bring this all together. We've gone from the basic mechanics all the way to high-level strategy. We know why that old rule exists, but now we know when, and more importantly, why we should break it. Now it's your turn to take this and run with it. So I want you to forget that old dusty rule about never use the passive voice. Here's your new rule. Use the passive voice on purpose to control the focus of your sentence. This isn't about avoiding a mistake. It's about adding a professional tool to your writer's toolkit. You know, the best way to really get this stuff to stick is to try it yourself. So here's what I want you to do. Down in the comments, write a simple active sentence and then change it to the passive voice. And think about how that changes the focus. I'll be checking them out and giving you some feedback. You did a great job today, and I'll see you next time.